Welcome to
Grab Life by the Horns.
Powered by Legacy Builders Global, and we are Jennifer Pecan and
Jan-Mark Pecan.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Grab Life by the Horns. And today we are talking about why you should sell something first before you create it. And this is not only for business owners or self-employed people or for entrepreneurs. This is for each and every one of us, because it doesn't matter in which area we are at home, if it's for private reason or professional reason, you should always check the market before you put more effort into that. And as an entrepreneur, you are basically like, we know all these online products and all the things like that. And we have a lot of people, they're creating these online products without even that they know that they have clients for that. So, and to create such an online product with a video, with an audio, detail, all the PDFs files, all this automated funnel behind that, takes a lot of work, and most people don't see it, how much work it really is to create these videos, to create this data, to make this automation, even though you have great tools already what support you in order to get this product done. But you have to write the emails, you want to customize that, you want to make sure that the people who really take it serious, they have the result after this online training. And but you know, like if you put like, let's say 6 weeks to 3 months for this online training, and then you go to market and you are not selling it, well, the 6 weeks to the 3 months are lost, because your clients or like your potential clients are not interested to that. And you can avoid that in when you make this market research, and you can. You know, no one said ever that you are not able to earn money while you are doing the market research. Like, just use this time wisely. You are not doing this as an employee as well. You're not quitting your job in order to find a new job. You are looking for a new job, get some offers or get a contract first. You make this, you make this close before you quit your job, what you already have. So you always do this kind of market research, and you always like look for that you get paid before you put the effort in. And this is the same situation in every aspect. And the same I could tell you another story with the real estate property, with the property developers who build the properties but they sell it off plan, meaning you have it like you sell it, you buy it from the paper, and you see no single stone at the ground first before you buy your apartment. Of course, you're paying step by step, but this is a normal situation in their world as well. And there are different normal situations and in different scenarios as well, which might be not so logical for you right now. And we want to talk about this today, that we can encourage you, to think the other way around, that you can make faster money before you put all the effort in.
Yeah, and I was thinking a little bit about that, and especially when Jennifer brought the topic up and she said it's like, well, that's also for employees and so on. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Where does that apply to employees and how they work? And while you were talking, there were a couple of stories that popped into my mind from my career. As a manager, but also as an employee and an individual contributor level. So the thing that popped into my mind is that basically whenever I wanted something from my boss, and that doesn't matter if your boss is a vice president, if it's just like a store manager, a team leader of 5 people, it doesn't matter. It's like usually it works kind of the same way. It's like on different levels, requires different argumentations, and the sums might be different you're arguing for or arguing about, but it doesn't really change the mechanism behind. And the thing that one of my first managers told me was that I shouldn't come to him with like the problem. And I know Jennifer is the same today in our company when she talks to our partners and our VAs and so on. He said, if you have a problem, then think about the problem and come with 3 possible solutions. If you can come up with 3. I mean, there is no need. If there are 2 solutions to the problem, don't think about the 3rd crazy one. Basically the message is come with like proposed plans or ideas, at least. If you cannot like figure anything out, then at least come with ideas, and not just with the plain problem and try to dump the problem on somebody else. And this is kind of the same thing. It's you sell something before you create it. You don't have the solution done, implemented, and whatsoever. Like, for example, if you have a problem in the sales process that people are giving too much discounts or whatever, then one possible solution could be you put in place a discount matrix which says if you are a sales clerk you can give up to 5%, if you are a sales manager 10%, the director 15%, and then the vice president 20%, or whatever. You can vary that. I just use round numbers here. So you can put that in place. That could be one of the possible solutions. The other possible solution could be there are no discounts allowed ever until the vice president signs, or whatever you can come up with as well. Now, you don't have to have like the policies written and everything like done and documented, but you can basically go back to your manager and say, listen, I saw this, I realized this, I think we're having a problem here on how we are structuring the discounts we're giving out, because it's random, people give, in my opinion, too much. And then you say like a possible solution would be, we could have a discount matrix, another one discounts by client volume, and the third one is we have no discounts at all, whatever. But you can start then, and then you start the discussion on this. And this is basically you sell the idea first, you probe the idea, and then when your boss says, well, that is actually a good idea, let's go and work this discount matrix out, then you start working the discount matrix. You don't waste the 6 weeks, 3 months about like trying to like come up with this fancy thing, only then to go to your manager and say like, okay, it's like there's a discount matrix, there's the policy that nobody gives discounts ever, and the other one is we'll give discounts by volume of client orders. And then your manager basically goes, oh, I thought like we have implemented that we basically give only based on volumes. So you wasted all the time on the discount matrix and everything because apparently you missed an information. And this is like for employees, you should be doing the same thing. It's just a total different thing because you're not creating a product per se. Some do. If you go in the engineering space, if you go in the product manager space, they come up with maybe a service the company could offer, and they are not like developing everything, including the training and so on, the rollout plan, but they are probing those ideas and they sell the ideas internally. And they, for sure, at least if you are a good product manager or you work with good product managers, they will also ask clients which they value, where they have a trusted relationship, and say, hey, we would be launching this service and we think that would be very beneficial for you in these areas. Would you be interested in that? And the really good ones, they get a pre-order.
What popped into my mind is as well that we spoke about yesterday in our clubhouse room about the 80-20 rule, that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect until you get started. And while you were talking, I was thinking back to our time in university, where we had to write our thesis,
yeah.
and you know, when you are starting with this, they're not asking for the full, like for me it was like 80 to 100 pages. They were not asking for the full report, they were asking for the agenda. And when you're writing a book right now as well, you start with the agenda, with the idea, and then you go deeper and deeper into detail, because like it makes no sense to work it out in the whole detail and then asking for feedback and you get the full, you are realizing you are on the totally wrong way. Like coming back to the businesses, and when we talk about like selling online products, you don't have to like come up with the agenda, come up with the idea and with the concept, make it nice looking, sell it to your audience, see if they like it and what feedback they give you back. And if you don't sell it, well, then you don't have to work it out. And this is obviously, yeah. But if you sell it and people want to have it, then your motivation is obviously higher to work it out than not. And I was like, we did our diploma degree, so I had one person who gave me feedback in a company and one in the university for the same topic. And it was a step-by-step process. So, and you are learning this in university with every single, project you are working on and you're presenting. The closer you work with the person, like who is guiding you through, like your mentor, your coach, whatever, like you want to call it, your teacher, your professor, whatever. The more feedback you get in the beginning, the closer you're working, the easier it is to come to a very good result, because you're focusing on the right things. Well, and depending in which situation you are, for business owners, the feedback people, like the mentors, the person who give you the feedback, are your clients, because you are trying to solve their problem. So if you want to solve their problem, you have to communicate with your clients, and this is what we do with our investors as well. We have a really, really close relationship with them, and talking about different things really in detail, and think things through and analyze and find the right way for them, with them together. And
for them, with them,
yeah,
yep.
both
like
so for them and with them.
Yep.
that we don't go on the wrong track, because I tell you what happened the other day. Even though we did it, you can still have this this problem that you just like it was a really good situation, because we have a client and an investor. We work with him since 6 months, and he has already amazing results. But while we worked with him, he realized actually what he really wants and what he doesn't want. And then we started now to focus more on the values, like on the core values. And we had a call, and we talked about this kind of things. And this person shared with us the values, and we realized, okay, this values, what he is just describing, actually he told us what he wants, but you could have different definition for the same situation he wants. So it was the same wording, but because of the different definition, we would go to another way. So we just say, okay, you know what, like if you're really clear about this right now and you have this definition for this core values, we have to change our track, because like we have to change the journey, otherwise we will not have a result what makes you happy. Because the core values and your results, like you can live this in another way as well, and we have to make sure that you go the right journey. And you want to make sure that your clients have the same definition of the same words you have as well. And this is why you have to communicate and to over-communicate again, in order to make your point and understandable for every one of them out there who could be your ideal client. And this is just from the side as a business owner. And you can do the same for as an investor. Like, for example, we have, like, at the moment we are renting out another apartment from us, and we are working together with our tenants. Like, of course we have, like, we have the criteria we want to rent it out, but we are open always to negotiate in the one way and in the other way. And I'm happy if I have tenants, they negotiate as well with me in order to make it doable for them, because then they are more committed. So I love if people interact with me and they say, okay, you know what, like, I like this, but I just can make this, or but I could give this instead of that. And we work things out together, because then we are both committed and we go in the same direction. And this is only possible with communicating, but you are creating while you are doing the things, and not you are totally ready and then you're going there. And in this case, we had we did not even bought the pieces of furniture for us, but we rented out already furnished. And this is because we were negotiating with our current tenant to get the pieces of furniture. And while we were negotiating, I already rented it out furnished, because it gives me as well, you know, if I rent it out furnished, I know what I can pay them, and if this is worth it. If I would see the people would love to have an unfurnished apartment, then I could save my time and don't have to end money to buy the pieces of furniture. But in this case, it was really easy. So, we expect end of this week the case is closed, and it took us only like 2 weeks to put the effort in. So it's super easy, and we really like work or like we adapt to this working style a lot. And this is for me as well 80-20 when I think about that.
That is true, because you always have to think about how much work do I have to put in for how much more money. That is right now, that's how the world works, because we measure time in money basically. And this is one of the definitions where I love Robert Kiyosaki for that definition, when he says is like, wealth is not measured in how much money you accumulate, but it's measured in how much of your life, and usually you take the month as the smallest unit, how much month can you live on the on your passive income. If you can live 2 out of the 4 weeks, if we go with a 4-week month as a standard, if you can live 2 out of 4 weeks of your passive income, not that you have to, but maybe you still have a job, but you could do that, then you are halfway there to be financially free. Now you have 2 choices. You can either lower your expenses, cut them in half, and then you are free. That's one possibility. The other one is obviously increase the passive income. But so the thing is, like, I was thinking with all that talk about like selling it first, there's one very important but very minor detail a lot of people don't pay attention to, and it happens also to a lot of companies, not only small companies, also big companies. And the detail basically is, and you should definitely remember that, best write it down, is that when you go and sell something, like you pre-sell your online course, or as a product manager you pre-sell a new service to the client, or like you sell the idea to your boss, let's stay with those 3 examples, is you have to anchor it. You do have to anchor that. And that means that, for example, if you sell your new online course, like you are thinking about developing an online course about real estate. Okay, so if you ask your clients or potential clients, are you interested in that? A lot of people will say yes. Now, the trick is, and that is the major difference, is can you make them buy the pre-sale? If you can make them buy the pre-sale, then you know it's a verified interest. They are not only interested, but they are also, like Jennifer said, they are committing. They say, okay, this is worth the money you are asking for, or it's worth more, so it's a good deal, so they are buying it. It's the same when you go to your boss, like what I said before, and you go with that discount stuff, and then you maybe go in there and then you tell your boss, wait, it's like, I will sum that up in an email, send you an email, please just reconfirm that we both know that this is what we agreed to. Because when then something changes, you can always go back and say, hey, we agreed to this. And it's the same thing on product managers, and I've seen that in big companies as well, that mistake. So don't think that like only solo entrepreneurs or new entrepreneurs or self-employed people do that when they first time develop an online course or something like that. Big companies do that too, is they go to clients they trust and they ask all these questions about like the product they would do or the service they would do, and the client says, yes, I really like that product, I like this, I like that, but they don't get an order placed. And it can be like a pre-reserved order where the client agrees that if the product is finished by that date, they would take whatever amount you guys agree to as a sale. So please don't make that mistake, because I think that is one of the crucial things a lot of people do. Because when you like put yourself in your shoes, if somebody approaches you and says like, I have this idea and I would like invent this great widget, whatever, that cools wine, like white wine for example, instantly, so whenever you go for a picnic you just have to take that and you, I don't know, throw your bottle through and it's gonna be cold. So you would say, yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, I'm like that is over the top.
Creative.
That is over the top. I know, but it's like for the example purpose, it serves it. You would say, yeah, that is really cool. When I go picnicking, then I just have to take the white wine and I just throw it through and it's gonna be cold. That doesn't mean that first of all you will go picnicking because maybe you don't even like picnicking, you just find the idea romantic to do so, or that you would buy that widget because you then think it's like, wait a minute, but when I'm go picnicking I usually take the car, I don't really like taking wine, I rather take a cold beer, or I could actually, we go on this nice river and I could just put it in the water and it's gonna be cool. So I know that is like, that example is like way over the top, but I hope it makes the point clear that there is a major difference. If you already bought that widget, then whoever sold it to you on a pre-order got already the money and got you committed. If you are just interested and you are like, yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea, and I'm sure you give that answer a lot, that doesn't mean anything when it comes to commitment.
That's right, and as well, like this is what I have to think about is as well when you, for example, if you go to the cinema, like again, soon,
maybe,
and there are some movies. There are movies you say, well, okay, I want to see that movie in the cinema, and there are movies you say, well, that would be nice to watch it in the cinema, but actually you don't care if you watch the movie ever. Like it could be interesting, but it's not, like. This is, but if you have like a person who want to go with you to a movie night, and it could be your best friend, for example, or your boyfriend, or your husband, or wife, girlfriend, whatever, you can, and you already bought the tickets for that night, like you are in, like, and this is something you have to, like, we want to make you understand that if you start putting your time in, because the time is something you cannot take back, like you cannot refill, okay? And if you create the things and want to make it perfect, you always put your time in. And this you cannot replace. You cannot fill it up. There's no refill for the timing or for the time itself. And before you do that, make sure that you will get paid for the effort. Doesn't matter if you sell a product or if you sell an idea or whatever, or like you take the time if you are employed, if you take the time to work on this project and not on the other project, what makes you maybe brings you to another career level. You know, you have always to make these choices, and from a perspective as a boss, I love that my people they spend their time wisely on things what brings us further, instead of working some things out because they think it's right, but it does not bring any value to our clients or to the company. And this is something you have to think, like if you are starting to think like that, you become as well as an employee, you become an entrepreneur, and you start, if you can start thinking as an entrepreneur, doesn't matter what position you are. And the same is because like there's a good book, and I think we already talked about this as well. You are a leader without a title anyway. Like you are the leader of your life, and you are the leader of your position, of your job position. You are the leader. Like, do you want to succeed or do you don't want to succeed? But it's your decision, it's your responsibility, and the time is your responsibility. And we have a friend. She wrote a great book about productivity and timing and all the things like that. And she worked as a consultant. And she said, well, her main problem was that she was the one who knew it all. Like the people came to her, and she worked like hours and hours. It was early in the morning there until late night. And her colleagues just gave her the questions and gave her the work because they could not answer them anyway. And they went home. So she was sitting there, said, what the, I will not say it, no, but she was wondering why is it like this and how she can change it. So she educate the people that they can answer the questions by themselves. So there was a point when it changed. She could go home earlier, and her colleagues was working on the things because they could answer the questions by themselves. And this is something like, like 80-20, and selling before you create it means actually that you don't spend the time on nonsense because you don't know the outcomes. Like, know the outcome first before you put all the time into. Like, as well, like if you want to be a speaker, like, of course you can create the whole keynote already for 2 days. you can do this. It will be a lot of time, or you just like come up with the title of your potential speech, and with an agenda, and sell this. And once you get booked, you have time enough to prepare the speech and to go through the speech, because you have no idea what the timing is anyway. So if you have 90 minutes or if you have 2 days. Just think about how you think about the resource time what you have, because you can't refill it.
That is true, and it's really a kind of a time protection mechanism. Yeah. Where you say, okay, where can I make the biggest impact with my time? And it's true. I mean, if you lose money, you can make new money. Even if you go bankrupt, you can somehow get back on your feet. But if you lose like 5, 10, 20 years or months or weeks, it doesn't matter, even minutes or hours, that time is gone forever. There is no mechanism, at least not known right now. Maybe some people have it and they are not sharing it, but there is no mechanism right now that gives you that time back. You can't go back and say, I lost a day, give me that day back, I pay 10,000 euros. It doesn't work, because believe me, there are a lot of rich people, they die as well. And if they could get like for $1 million, a couple of days more, or even sometimes maybe an hour, they would probably pay that price.
Yeah.
So there is like, be wise on that decision. Make sure that you probe the right thing. Make sure you have like trusted clients, trusted partners, trusted people in your environment, where you can bounce off those ideas in order to sell the idea, to work it around and to get it going. And then make sure when it's ready that you anchor it somehow, either get a pre-order, a pre-agreement, an email agreement. I wouldn't go with verbal, because yeah, with some people you can do verbal, but I don't think in that case that is a particular good idea. And then you're good, you sold it, and now you go and create it. And if you then somehow figure out you can't create it, then just be honest and basically start communicating that that's not going to happen, and then you will need to face the music and the consequences and need to make sure people get their money back. You somehow find the next best solution for them, and so on and so on. But you protect yourself, but you also protect your clients, because like what Jennifer said is, if you work deeply with like we work with our investors, then sometimes after 6 months they finally see what they really want. And it's not that they were lying in the beginning, they just didn't know. And through the special process we're having, they are finding out what they really want, and then it becomes more clear, and then you have to adapt the strategy, and that's all.
That's right. Actually, there's nothing more to add on this on this topic. Like sales is not always about like earning money. It's as well like taking the time what you have and take it invest it in a wise way. And with that, we wish you an amazing week. Thanks for listening in, and looking forward to talk to you next week again.
Make the most out of it. Bye guys.
Do you want to get paid? Introducing Legacy Builders Global, where everybody gets paid. We don't create investors. We create legacy builders. Legacy Builders Global. Visit us at www.legacybuildersglobal.com.